I say this all the time. Hey, let me pull this up to my mouth. I say this all the time that people nowadays, I mean by people, I mean, young adults, the newer generation, hell, even children, they know who VTubers are more than most Hollywood actors. Like, VTubers has become the new Hollywood actors of this generation, or at least when I grew up. You had certain actors like Morgan Freeman, Chris Pratt, you know, and you generally know who they were. And because one, their voices are iconic. Two, their personalities are iconic. Three, their character is iconic. But then nowadays you get actors that you don't really know who they are. Like, shows will bring back older actors, like geriatric actors, like the new Indiana Jones, which is senior abuse at this point. They're slapping his corpse of a body around. But they usually do that just to change the mantle over to the newer generation and replace them, like what they did with the Doctor Who 60th anniversary. I made a video about this. They brought him back specifically to belittle him as a character, and I genuinely believe that's someone's fetish, right? It's the writer's fetish to bring back the old Doctor Who just to shit all over him. But now apparently this character is replacing Doctor Who because there's this episode where Doctor Who, I guess, technically gives birth, but he really just splits apart. And the person he splits apart into is the person that this character plays. Nakuti Gatwa. And the thing is, all the other characters, like, swoon over this character. And Doctor Who's is like, well, I'm important too. And they're like, yeah, whatever. So, again, just another attempt to throw Doctor Who, like, Mr. Tennant's character under the bus. You use him as sort of comedy relief and replace him with this character, but I genuinely do not know. Apparently, this actor is important. I don't know how. I don't know why. I mean, it says he's a sex education black actor. I guess that's what that says. I'm fucking blind. And it's like, but do people really know who this is? I have the fucking hiccups. Hold on. There we go. It's like, but do people who view this on the BBC really know who this is? Or is this just someone that has a lot of followers on the Instagrams or social medias, and they're like, oh, hell, he has several hundred followers. He must be popular, right? Well, again, what makes actors, at least in my generation, popular is you see a lot of memes about them. People quote them in everyday life. I mean, that's what made them people popular, when people would just talk about them, like the surprise motherfucker. I mean, that the guy that played Nick Fury is, even if I can't remember their fucking name, you know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. And I believe this is what makes actors, popular. Not, the amount of Instagram or Twitter or Facebook followers. Because that's good and all, but, or like TikTok followers. People think, oh, they have this many followers on TikTok, and so they must be popular, right? It's like, well, I guess on TikTok, but anywhere else, I wouldn't. Like, again, if you don't see memes for this actor, people don't really care. Or at least people care if they're ideologically possessed, or if they're like, you know, the show runners of Doctor Who, who's doing everything in their power to replace Tennant and the original Doctor Who with other caricatures that people don't care about. Ncuti Gatwa will take over from Jodie Whittaker as the Time Lord in Doctor Who, the BBC has announced. I mean, again, who is this guy? Whatever. The 29-year-old will be the 14th Doctor on the popular BBC show after Whittaker announced last July she would be leaving the role. The Scottish actor, who was born in Rwanda, starred as Eric Efong in Netflix's highly popular Sex Education about the socially awkward high school student Otis Asa Butterfield and his sex therapist mother Jean Gillian Anderson. He will become the first black actor to play a title role full-time in 2020. The first black actor to play the title role in 2020. And they do this odd marketing thing where it's like the first ever female, this, that, and the other. And it's like, okay, like the first ever this identity that people barely care about. And it's like, you know, that's an interesting marketing strategy, right? But what's the goal here? Because that's the question people need to ask. Like, is there a goal to slapping these labels onto people? What are you trying to? What do you mean? The first black actor to play a role. So is he the first black Doctor Who? Doctor or Time Lord? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I mean, cool. But I still don't know who this fucking guy is. Russell T Davies will return the next series of Doctor Who as showrunner after he initially helmed the 21st century revival of the show from 2005 to 2009. Again, who's still watching this? I don't know who's still watching this show. I mean, it's just I don't believe this show would exist if it wasn't based on nepotism or the old trope of taking old IPs and wearing them as like skin suits. I don't believe this would exist otherwise. In a statement on the official Doctor Who website, Ncuti said there aren't quite the words to describe how I'm feeling. A mix of deeply honored, beyond excited, I lost my train of thought, and of course a little bit scared. This role and show means so much to so many around the world. What do you mean? So much to so many around the world. I mean, yeah, I guess there would be a lot of people who would want your job. I mean, there's a lot of people who would, you know, say in the Snow White, there's a lot of people who want to be Rachel Zegler's position. You know, and these people won't shit on the fans, they won't shit on the property, and they'll gladly play the role, but it's almost like hating the IP is a must to most of these actors. Like, if you actually genuinely like the IP, they're like, no, we're not going to hire you, because fuck you. Because if you do, well, you get Henry Cavill, and you get all these goofy-ass allegations that mean nothing. It's like, okay, here's someone who actually cares about the IP, you know, carrying the IP. And I genuinely believe he carried The Witcher, right? Even in Season 2, you could spot the fall-off from a mile away. He carried that entire fucking IP. but they just flat out did not like him because, again, he genuinely cared about The Witcher, and he wasn't just wearing the character as a skin suit, including myself, and each one of my incredibly talented predecessors has handled that unique responsibility and privilege with the utmost care. I mean, I don't really like Tennant is the only Doctor Who that exists to me. I don't really know who all else grabbed the title, or is it like sort of like, you know, the thing where it's like, oh well, you're the 14th Doctor Who, and like 1 through 10, no one cares about them. They're just sort of there. But here you are. Hey, hi, how's it going? I will endeavor my utmost to do the same. Russell T Davies is almost as iconic as the Doctor Who himself, and being able to work with him is a dream become true. His writing is dynamic, exciting, incredibly intelligent, and fizzing with danger. What the fuck does that mean? And I mean, again, I guess he's happy for getting the role, but does he actually care about the IP? You know, I find it's 100% fine to just want to act and collect the paycheck. But I think most actors, again, when I grew up, people genuinely cared about the actors and the roles you played. It's like you're trying to sell people on the illusion that you're playing this character. Why wouldn't you do it with the utmost care? I just don't see why you wouldn't. But again, the meta is you should not care about the IP. The meta is you should shit all over the IP, apparently. Because the IP is just the skin suit, the means to, at least nowadays, push social bullshit down people's throat, you know, push social change. But again, that's not the point of the product. The product is entertainment, but the idea is, oh, well, we're pushing social goals and we just happen to make entertainment. It's like the byproduct, and I don't believe that is entirely healthy. That's not a healthy business strategy. So I can't tell you how many, say, like Disney movies have fucking flopped, and how many people that they fired. And that goes for damn near almost any other company that's in entertainment. Davis said the future is here, and it's Nakadi's. Sometimes talent walks through the door, and it's so bright and bold and brilliant. I just stand back and awe and thank my lucky star. Nakadi dazzled us, seized hold of the Doctor, and owned those TARDIS keys in seconds. It's an honor to work with him and a hoot. I can't wait to get started. I'm not going to keep reading all this. All of this is just platitudes, comments. No one. It's weird that they don't keep comments on their page anymore. But yeah, I don't know who the fuck this is. And I guess they're supposed to gas him up. I mean, they're going to be working with him. But I just find it, again, if if a VTuber was to voice act in this, people would automatically know. Like, people know Iron Mouse's or Shy Lily's iconic voice. And I think that would just sell off principle. People would see the movie specifically if, say, Iron Mouse was in it. But again, they look on social media. They don't look at the market and what the market wants. They're like, oh, well, we want this guy, therefore, let's look. Oh, he has 100-something thousand followers. Well, he must be popular. I mean, but anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. See ya.